Hi guys, welcome to another edition of the General Jerry channel. Guys, I am back. I'm making my return officially, full time to reviewing wrestling, and there's no better opportunity to do that with WWE officially on Netflix. So we're just gonna get right into it. The much requested notepad is out. We're gonna break down everything. So to kind of sum everything up, in my opinion. Um, I obviously this is the first full show that I've seen in a lot of years. I fell out of wrestling for a very long time. However, I think this was the perfect time to come back, and I was completely correct. This was a phenomenal show, an amazing show. Just a fantastic show altogether. The first thing I want to say, just right off the bat, is the production in comparison to when I was reviewing shows 3, 4 years ago, the production in on Raw that I seen, especially when it came to Netflix, was just completely next level. Um, I'm so surprised at how generally good it was. WWE in their last few years, they've actually really upped their game when it comes to production value. So generally amazing production value. The production team, I don't think they get enough shout outs. I think that they should be praised as well. Fantastic throughout. They then had it was almost like a history of WWE. A lot of this is an introduction to a casual fan. Something that I've been saying for years is that WWE needs to focus on a casual audience to maximize its growth. And they've been doing that, especially with their social media. So essentially, they had the history of WWE. There was a massive sheet, and the ring came down in Triple H. That was amazing. That was pretty cool. Triple H doing his introduction, and then immediately after that, The Rock came in. Obviously, a lot of us know that The Rock was gonna come back. The Rock did his promo about obviously Netflix and WWE, which I thought was really, really good. My only concern is who is he actually facing? Because I honestly thought he was either going to turn on, we'll get into Roman in a second, but I thought he was going to turn on Roman, or whether he would turn on Cody, or he would call someone out. There was kind of a brief moment of that between Roman and Rock, but it's just very open-ended. Like, he's obviously a face now again. He's no longer a heel because he was praising Cody Rhodes. But yeah, it is interesting. But overall, fantastic promo from The Rock. Really, really good. Obviously it's The Rock, of course. He's gonna do this. Another side note I want to say, Michael Cole. I've criticized Michael Cole for many years. Um, Obviously, it's now been learned that Vince McMahon was shouting at commentators' ears and they couldn't be themselves. I've seen a massive change in Cole in this show in comparison to what I seen a few years ago. So generally, just a fantastic. I think Michael Cole's actually is really, actually 10 times better than what he was a few years ago. He's obviously more himself. Especially when he's calling the match, he's not doing these like one-off, like he does a catchphrase, but this kind of meant meaningful. He was doing these kind of little sayings that just didn't work in the past, and obviously that was because Vince McMahon was shouting in his ear. I think Michael Cole did an amazing job as well. First match, Solo versus Roman Reigns. Just a fantastic match overall. Something that a lot of other wrestling companies and a lot of people have said, am I going to be talking about AEW? Oh, believe me, I will. But something that AEW need to learn is actual build and actual great storylines. And that's something that Solo and Roman did. Back and forth this match went. It was a very slow build at the start, but picked up and picked up and picked up. Not as many like pinfalls as you see in other kind of promotions as well, which I thought was really, really good. But overall, fantastic match. I think the storytelling was great. A lot of people are kind of criticizing this because they're saying that, oh, well, this buries Solo. No, I think this is time for Solo to do his own thing. And I wouldn't say the story has to end somehow, and I think Roman being obviously the tribal chief and him with Paul Heyman obviously just makes perfect sense in regards to that. And obviously you had Sami Zayn running down there helping him, and I thought overall fantastic, great match, brilliant overall, no complaints whatsoever. Then The Rock came down, and you thought that was a bit of a stare down. I thought, is he gonna call him out? Is he gonna turn on him? I generally thought he was actually gonna turn on him at some point, and it didn't happen. And it's just I'm trying to think in my head who's The Rock gonna face, and I think it might be um I honestly don't know. It's not gonna be Cody Rhodes. I mean, they should at least have him versus Roman, because that makes sense. Rock versus Roman does make sense, and I thought they maybe try and build on that. But we'll wait and see. We'll see how that goes. But overall, I would have liked The Rock to call someone out. But look, I'll take a Rock on Raw at any time, at any stage. So brilliant, brilliant overall. And then, right, so obviously, for the new viewers out there, I have had a rivalry with the New Day. A lot of you will know my notorious rant on the New Day. Terrible promo from them. I'm sorry, but I know a lot of people since I've gone love the New Day, and ironically enough, the time that I come back, they've turned heel, and now everybody hates them. But looking at what they were doing, because apparently they had like certain sections on Raw, and when they were talking, they were talking about rappers and Kendrick Lamar and no, I just think that I think that they're trying to do a heel version of their comedic thing, and I don't think that works. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really particularly look. I like Kofi Kingston as an individual and stuff like that, but I just think the New Day in general, I never really got it. I still don't get it. And then people might say, "Oh, you're a hater. You're a hater." It's like, no, I don't get it. I thought that the promo was very weak there. And they went, "We've only got 2 minutes, but like, if you got 2 minutes on the mic, say something meaningful." Instead, they were just pandering to the crowd. So to me, it just makes absolutely no sense. Um, so the next section, I'm gonna get hit for this, but the reason why I came back is to tell the truth. John Cena, okay, and a lot of you are gonna probably think, well, Jerry's more older, he's more wiser, he's more mature. He likes John Cena. No, I'm sorry, I don't. I'm gonna stick by my guns. Cena, in my opinion, when I was watching WWE, it was at a massive decline because Cena was champion. And I would actually argue that Roman Reigns has actually had more of an impact, because he's really carried this company on his back. Really, to be very very honest with you, I think Roman is personally, I put him above Cena now, and a lot of people cringe at that and think, how can you say this, Jerry? Well, I just said it. Um, Cena comes in. He's apparently having one last year. I hope he just leaves, to be honest with you. I don't like him. And then even in his promo, it was just like, well, Los Angeles, and it's just, he goes, well, maybe if I won the Royal Rumble. Look, as much as I've criticized CM Punk, I think he should be the guy to actually win the Royal Rumble, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. I think, if you look at people, maybe John Cena versus CM Punk, that might be something. I think out of all the final matches, I think CM Punk versus John Cena might be a good outing for Cena, to be honest. But overall, I'm still not a fan of Cena, because I'm not blinded by nostalgia. Like, a lot of people, when it comes to Cena, are blinded completely by nostalgia. The man, when he was champion, set the company on a massive decline. Roman, since he's been champion, Cena has even admitted this himself. You know what I mean? And I'm sure John's a lovely person in real life and stuff, but the wrestler John Cena, I can't get behind it. I just think I always thought he was corny. I never liked him. Some people might say, well, Jerry, it's not 2008. You can't hate on Cena. Well, I still stand by my guns. I'm not like these other reviewers that are just going to sway to the opinion of nostalgia and what other people say. I'm on this channel to state my opinion. Simple as. That's just the bottom line, because Uncle Jerry said so. Cena wants to be a 7-time champion. No, I'm sorry, but I actually think that there's way more talented people on that roster than Cena's doing his final year, and it's gonna be, oh, it's his final year, and oh, it's great, this final, Cena's coming back for one more year. I don't care. I generally couldn't care less. And unfortunately, by the sounds of it, it looks like John's primed to win the Royal Rumble. But you know what? If you are a Cena fan, I understand you obviously like him. You were probably, yay, Cena, Cena, C-Nation, yeah. I remember like the Smart Busters, like old Sam, they're like, C-Nation, yeah, I love the children. Seeing as like everyone's returning the YWC, I think we should get the Smart Busters coming back. I don't know. We should tell Righty whether he should come back. That's what I think. So Burr, work your magic there. But overall, like Cena, I'm sure people are happy for him. I just personally don't like him, but I'm not gonna mark the show against that. To be, in my personal opinion, Liv Morgan versus Ripley. So I've actually criticized Ripley for quite some time. Because a lot of people don't. You probably forget this, but back when she first started, she was very generic. However, she's massively improved, and I have to give her props for that. Massively improved. I think the storylines that she's been involved in with Judgment Day, etc., I think has been phenomenal. Liv versus Liv as well. I've actually always loved Liv Morgan. But anyway, but I think this match overall was fantastic. I think it was really, really good. Overall, and just generally, I thought it was a fantastic match overall. You know, look, I do think Ripley obviously was probably the better choice, because I think that she's now, like, on social media, everyone's looking her up, like, everyone loves her now. So I think in comparison to when I last seen her, she's massively improved, like promo skills, character, wrestling ability, especially wrestling ability, has just vastly improved in my opinion. And then the Undertaker came out. I didn't think the Undertaker would have come out after a women's match. You know what I mean? But honestly, I'll just take it. You know what I mean? A lot of people have criticized, like, oh, this is a waste of Undertaker coming out for a women's match, and I'm like, yeah, but like, he was in the first Raw. Wrestled in the first, Raw ever, I believe, and I think they couldn't squeeze him in the show anywhere else. They probably could have squeezed him in a. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, because it's probably a big reason why you're watching this video is for, brother, the reaction that he got. But um, overall, I thought it was a very good match between Liv and Ripley, and I have to say, Undertaker, just seeing him, I think is just brilliant. And it's good that he came in as the American Badass as well. I think if he came in as, the Demon or that type of thing, it probably wouldn't have made sense. So, but yeah, Drew McIntyre versus Jay Uso, again another solid match. Jay Uso wins. By the way, obviously Ripley's now the women's champion, so good on her. And obviously, as you know, with Roman, obviously won. But Jay Uso won against Drew. Very surprised at this, but I think that they are building Jay up, because he seemed very, very popular. Because last time I seen them, they were still a tag team and they weren't doing anything at all. So, massive change, and I think his wrestling has vastly improved. Drew McIntyre as well, I think, is massively improved as well. With that, so moving swiftly on to we're gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna get political. But Hulk Hogan came out and got booed. Now, I love the Hulkster. I have to admit, I put my hands up. Hulk Hogan, I love him to bits. I actually, at some point, want to go and actually see him at some point in Florida, or go to his beach shop and actually see him in person, get the t-shirt, the full 9 yards. I don't think that. I think that they put him in here thinking he would get a pop. Yeah, and then he he plugged his beer. God love him too. And um, um obviously California is very liberal. And for anyone who doesn't know, that is from Europe, Hulk Hogan was on the Donald Trump rally and was endorsing Donald Trump. Um, I feel sorry for Hulkster. I have to be honest. I feel bad for him because all these people are booing, "I hate you, Hulk Hogan." Do you know? I actually really at one point when he was he was cutting his promo about his beer, he'd be like, "I don't give a shit what you say, brother." Imagine if he just turned tail. I think that would be actually amazing. But and even when he walked off, like he literally stormed off. Like if you look at the very end, he completely stormed off. And I think Triple H probably was like, ugh. And apparently, like his beer's sponsored by Raw now or something like that. Not a good look for the Hulkster, but you know what? We move on to the main event. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Obviously, the last time I've spoke about CM Punk, I had some very colourful words to say about him. I still maintain what I say about him, although I do think him moving to WWE was a vast improvement. And a lot of people might say, oh, but Jerry, CM Punk, is in the WWE now. You got proved in the wrong because you said that he was, a bad person to work with and he was acting like a baby, etc., etc., etc. Um, CM Punk has to behave himself. This is the last hurrah of CM Punk, so he has to behave himself, and I still maintain what I say about that. But CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, I think CM Punk in comparison to when I see him in AEW, miles better in the ring, like miles better, like, and it shows. That obviously he's in the top of his game. Still, I had some worries about him in the ring in AEW because he kept injuring himself and injuring and injuring. But I do think him versus Seth Rollins was just a fantastic match. Obviously, CM Punk won. Whether or not Seth Rollins leaves this be, we'll have to wait and see. Who knows? It might be a trilogy or something that they might do between these two guys. I think that will be good because really where's Rollins going to go from here after the CM Punk feud, so we'll have to wait and see. Obviously Rollins as well. I'm going to be honest with Rollins' promos. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the like sounding like a 1950s bad guy in a cartoon. I'm not a fan, but I will say, in comparison to his Messiah gimmick that he had, miles better, great in the ring. Overall, the rating for this Raw, um, mark your calendars, folks, because this is the first time that I think this is the third time I've ever done this, but I'm giving this show a 10 out of 10. Um, eh, I just thought overall it was just fantastic. I absolutely enjoyed the show, and I thought it was fantastic. I think that's the only third time I've given a show a 10 out of 10 in my 15 years of being on YouTube. I just thought this was a fantastic Raw. Obviously, the next Raw, we have to subvert our expectations. We're not going to get The Rock all the time. We're not going to get these guys. But I really hope next week they actually showcase this young talent because to build them up for again the next generation of wrestlers. So guys, that is my Raw review. Thank you so much for watching. It's good to be back. I will be returning on Saturday for my SmackDown spoilers. That's right, SmackDown spoilers is coming back, folks. So make sure you click that button here and subscribe, like the video, comment, because it really helps me in the algorithm. I read all your comments as well, by the way. I read everyone's on my last return video. So thank you guys so much, General Jerry on the General Jerry channel. Signing out.